One of the world's most recognisable athletes, David Beckham has transformed himself from footballing hero to global celebrity. One way in which he has achieved this is through the striking of lucrative commercial deals, including his ambassadorial roles for both Qatar and Dubai. For many, this is just another deal on another day in a heavily celebritized economy. For critics, however, David Beckham is now part of a broader, insidious strategy used by these Middle Eastern states in order to influence the world through the power of sport. But Beckham's relationship with the Middle East stretches back more than a decade and intersects with a much larger trend in global football. A shift where state-owned sponsors, governments and their sovereign wealth funds, and football itself are increasingly and irreversibly intertwined. So how did one of football's most famous players become such a vital piece in this geopolitical puzzle? Welcome to Sports Simplified, and this is David Beckham, ambassador for the Autocrats. Few footballers have ever possessed the commercial reach of David Beckham. During his playing career, he evolved from star midfielder at Manchester United to one of the most recognisable athletes in the entire world. However, he didn't just move from club to club outside of England for purely footballing reasons. Real Madrid, LA Galaxy, AC Milan and Paris Saint-Germain weren't simply sporting decisions. Their placements in global cultural hub cities allowed Beckham to grow his brand. That final move to PSG in 2013 is particularly notable. You see, the club had recently been purchased by Qatar Sports Investments, a subsidiary of the Gulf nation's sovereign wealth fund. PSG quickly became one of the most high-profile examples of state-backed ownership in football. And whilst Beckham did only play there briefly, his presence aligned one of football's biggest global celebrities with a project designed to elevate Qatar's visibility through sport. The term sportswashing has been gaining increased attention over the past decade or so. It refers to the use of sport by governments or institutions to improve their international image, often diverting attention away from domestic issues such as human rights violations. You see, sport offers a very unique form of soft power. Major events can draw billions of viewers. Football clubs carry incredible cultural capital, and partnerships with globally recognized athletes can help to reshape public perception. Several Middle Eastern states have already invested heavily in sport as part of their long-term national development strategies. Examples include Saudi Arabia's acquisition of Newcastle United and sponsorship of FIFA's Club World Cup this past summer, Abu Dhabi's purchase of Manchester City, and Qatar's ownership of Paris Saint-Germain. And these investments often sit alongside the hosting of major global sporting events, such as the 2022 FIFA World Cup that was held in Qatar and the 2034 edition that will be held in Saudi Arabia. In this context, major celebrity ambassadorial relationships can be extremely valuable. They help to legitimize the project, expand its global appeal, and of course draw eyes towards the spectacle rather than what might be lurking behind the scenes. I just want all of the money. In 2021, reports from outlets including The Guardian suggested Beckham had signed a deal worth around $150 million to promote Qatar over a 10-year period. The agreement positioned Beckham as one of the most visible international supporters of the 2022 World Cup, and the tournament was a major geopolitical landmark. Qatar became the first ever Middle Eastern country to host the competition, but the whole event was surrounded by incredible controversy. Human rights organizations such as Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch raised concerns surrounding migrant worker conditions, their status as an autocratic monarchy, and the treatment of LGBTQ+ individuals and women in the country. Within this debate, Beckham's involvement was put under particular scrutiny. After all, historically, he has presented himself as an ambassador for inclusive football. In 2002, Beckham made headlines as the first Premier League footballer to pose for Attitude, a prominent LGBT magazine. Fast forward 2 decades and his status as a gay icon has disintegrated. Critics would argue that his partnership helped to cushion the blow of international condemnation against the country and the tournament, whereas his supporters would say engaging with countries through sport can help to encourage dialogue and stimulate long-lasting change.
Yeah, but you know David Beckham, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going, isn't he?
Yeah.
How much has he been paid?
I don't know.
You do know.
More than me. You've got a choice, I think, haven't you?
What, going or not going?
Well, my view always has been that you either highlight the issues and challenges in these countries and speak about them, or you basically don't say anything, you stay back home and don't go. And I've always said we should challenge them.
There's another option. You stay at home and highlight the abuses. You don't have to go and take the Qataris' money.
Beckham himself largely avoided political commentary and instead decided to emphasise football's ability to unite people across various different cultures, a conveniently generalised and evasive message. Beckham's ties to the region extend far beyond just Qatar. For several years now, he has been a tourism ambassador for Dubai, one of the most ambitious branding projects in modern urban development. Dubai has invested heavily in global visibility, and sport has been a major contributor to this strategy. From international tennis tournaments to Formula One races to football sponsorship deals. Celebrities like David Beckham helped to reinforce Dubai's image as a luxury global hub, and their relationship illustrates how sport, tourism, and geopolitics are increasingly interacting with one another. And despite the intense backlash that has come from his dealings with Qatar and Dubai, Beckham has reinforced the fact that he is proud to have been their ambassador. The wider story here is about football's changing power dynamics at the elite level. If it wasn't Beckham, it would be somebody else, because over the past 2 decades, sovereign wealth and state-backed investments have changed the global game. Ownership groups tied to oil-rich Middle Eastern governments now control several of the sport's most powerful clubs. And at the same time, football's global celebrity ecosystem has expanded. Players, former players, and influencers have now become ambassadors, investors, and brand partners. Beckham himself was a pioneer for this new model. He is currently a co-owner of Inter Miami, the newest MLS franchise whose ambitions took them to the signing of Lionel Messi from Paris Saint-Germain back in 2023. And that deal alone demonstrated the growing commercial power and opportunity in football that lay beyond Europe's borders. And if anyone in the sport has shown their ability at capitalizing on non-sporting opportunities, it's David Beckham. David Beckham's football legacy is already secure, but his post-playing career demonstrates something much larger that's going on in the modern game. Football is no longer just a sport. It's a global platform where politics, economics, and national identity increasingly intersect. For governments seeking international influence, football offers unparalleled visibility and reputational opportunity, and celebrities like David Beckham can play a crucial role in this strategy. However, whether people see him as a smart global businessman or an autocrat apologist is ultimately a matter of personal perspective.